Welcome to Back Porch News. I am Reese, and I am here today to talk about the National Guard timeline put together by the House Administration Subcommittee on Oversight, which was put in place there in the House of Representatives to look into, among other things, the J6 committee. When Congress changes, the previous Congress is required by law to preserve records to hand over to the new Congress. The J6 committee did not do that. They destroyed some records. Some of the records were on laptops that were hidden behind passwords. Some of the records have been transferred over to the Biden administration, and the Biden administration lost them. So the Subcommittee on Oversight has gone through and restructured them, worked with data professionals, has gotten other copies of records from other branches of the government, and compiled a great big report. Today we are dealing with the National Guard timeline, which is one of the pieces of that report. And so we're going to go ahead and go over the timeline prior to January 6th, 2021, and see where the National Guard was in light of all this other stuff. So, on the 31st, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser requested the Secretary of the Army, Ryan McCarthy, provide D.C. National Guard on January 5th and 6th to support the Metro Police Department. It's important to notice this. Muriel Bowser specifically requested this in December, knowing that the rally was going to be huge, right? So, then, on the 3rd, Acting Secretary of Defense Chris Miller meets with Trump at the White House. POTUS concurs that Secretary Miller activate the National Guard to support law enforcement. Also on the 3rd, U.S. Capitol Police Chief Sund asks the Senate Sergeant at Arms Mike Strenger and the House Sergeant at Arms Paul Irving for authority for the National Guard to assist. In D.C., at the Capitol building, all police action is run through the Sergeant at Arms of the House and of the Senate. Metro Police can't go in there without the Capitol Police's okay. The National Guard can't go in there without the Capitol Police's okay. And the Capitol Police have to get okay from the Sergeant of Arms. And those guys answer to the heads of their respective bodies. The Speaker of the House for the House Sergeant at Arms, the Majority Leader in the Senate for the Senate Sergeant at Arms. Sund has requested it. Both Sergeant at Arms deny the request. Chief Sund then mentions to Major General Mark Walker that the Capitol Police may need help, but that they do not have the authority, they do not have the authorization to make that request. Next day, on the 4th, Secretary Miller and McCarthy formally approve the D.C. Mayor Bowser's December request. So, Mayor Bowser requests in December, it is approved in January, and then Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, contacts the mayor to say that the president is offering 100,000 National Guard troops for public safety, right? So Trump was proactively asking for something that Bowser had already asked for, gotten approval for. Chief Sund informed the Senate Sergeant at Arms and the House Sergeant at Arms in previous discussions about the National Guard's ability to provide troops if authorization is granted. So they had told him no. He rounded up the troops and said, if I can get permission, we're ready to go. It's on the 5th. On the 5th also, Mayor Bowser sends a letter to the DOD confirming the city is not requesting additional law enforcement and discourages additional deployment. Now, she had just gotten approval, and now she's coming around and getting denial based on it. Very, very fishy. Okay. Then, on the 5th, President Trump calls Secretary Miller and offers 100,000 troops to maintain public safety on January 6th. So, that is on the 5th. That's the situation we have there. So you can see from this timeline, we're not going to go into the second day, into the 6th. Suffice it to say, all the way down at the bottom, the National Guard is deployed. They do not arrive on site until 5:20. That is an hour and change since the rioting stopped happening. The reason I bring this up is to point out that you have consistently been lied to about this whole J6 thing. You've been lied to. If they're lying to us about this, something silly like this, what else are they lying about that actually matters? So that's it for the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, throw us a like, give us a comment. I guess that's the view from my back porch. Let's come around next time for more Back Porch News.